how does technology help business professionals be more efficient? By the end of this video, you're not only going to understand how technology has enabled humans to be more efficient, but we're even going to look at how you can better adapt to change yourself where it's not as scary. First, you're going to understand how technology has been transforming the way we live as humans from the time of fire and the invention of the wheel. Second, we're going to identify what technology can and cannot do. Then I'm going to share how technology has changed you into a superhero without you even knowing it. And then lastly, we're going to get you ahead of the curve so that you can embrace technology to be more efficient, effective, and connected. Let's go. First things first, I want you to imagine how business was done before computers. Think back. Some of you actually lived through this time. Others, it seems like a really crazy thought to you. But imagine what it was like where you had to write out things manually or use typewriters or mail things and you couldn't email things and you had to have original signatures come through snail mail. Imagine how many humans it took to complete tasks. Personal computers were technically available in 1975, and then we followed that by the fax machine, which was commercially adopted in the 80s and the 90s. Then came public availability of the World Wide Web in the late 90s. Then think about how much smartphones transformed the way that we work in 2007, revolutionizing computing, communication, and really the fact that now we can run a business from our pocket or our purse. When you think about the difference in the way that we do business now versus our grandparents and great-grandparents, it is a tremendous shift. And at the end of the day, all it's allowed us to do is be more efficient. Less humans can get the same amount of work done, but our unemployment rate still is not comparatively high because there's always new problems to solve. Sometimes the technology creates new problems. The thing that we have to understand is that traditionally, technology has helped humans with repetitive tasks and also those tasks that required a great deal of strength. We're moving into a world where generative AI is even able to do tasks that seem to be a little bit more creative in nature, though technically they're not creative. But that's another conversation for another day. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to get into how technology has turned you into a superhero. But before we get to that fact, I have to ask you a question. Have you subscribed to this channel yet? If not, just take a moment, click the subscribe button, and we'll keep it moving. So let's talk about how technology has changed you into a superhero. Now, are you wearing a cape right now? Do you feel like a superhero? Or do you still feel like you don't have enough hours in the day to get things done? Let me ask you a question. When was the last time you did dishes by hand? You may have done them, but it may have been a choice for you. When was the last time you did your laundry by hand? When was the last time you had to hitch up your horse and go across town or across another state and it takes several days? We've moved beyond all these things now, so technology has enabled us to really do superhuman feats. Think about the fact that we can fly in the sky and that we can go in submarines deep into the ocean. Now, you might say to yourself, maybe you're not doing all of these things. I don't know the last time you flew in a plane. You probably haven't been in a submarine lately unless you're like a really, really cool person. If so, drop that in the comments. I want to know what you were doing in a submarine and how I can get in there with you. But my point is that it enables you to do things that typically you haven't been able to do historically. Humans haven't been able to do historically. But let's talk about right now. Right now, you can pick up your smartphone and immediately send to them whatever they need. If they need groceries, if they need some hot soup, if they need somebody to show up and do a singing dance number for them, you immediately have the ability to do that. Think about the fact that in addition to that, right now, at the tips of your fingers, you can do all kinds of business activities. You can hire people for outsourcing. You can assign different projects to people. All from your fingertips, you can immediately get these things done. That makes you something of a superhero compared to what people were able to do even 50 years ago. What you're capable of is incredible. And not just from a work standpoint, think of it just as a human potential standpoint, how much you're able to help people across the world instantaneously through apps and other forms of social media. One of the other ways that technology has helped humans be more efficient and better in general is just in terms of eliminating errors. So think about medical diagnoses. Right now, AI is more active than most radiologists in reading x-rays and MRIs. And so it's not that the technology replaces radiologists. There's radiologists that need to have the knowledge on how to use the technology so they can continue providing upgraded service. And so technology in many areas of our lives have helped eliminate errors. Right now, if you're like me, are you someone that types really fast and has all kinds of grammatical errors? One of my favorite tools is called Grammarly, and that's something that I have inside of Chrome, and I can use it inside of Microsoft Word or any place else. It instantaneously corrects what I'm typing as I go. So again, it eliminates errors. That's on a much smaller level than obviously a radiologist needing to give accurate results, but it goes to show you that it helps humans be more accurate. Another way that it's helping humans become more efficient is through language translation. We have different forms of generative AI as well as Google Translate that we found that while it may not pick up some of the idiosyncrasies of individual languages as well as an individual, it's much more efficient at translating than the average human. And really, it's only a matter of time, maybe a year, maybe two, when it's just as accurate as humans in translating from one language to the next. Another way that it helps humans be more efficient is through using image recognition. Right now in the farming industry, automotive, security, healthcare, image recognition helps with security issues and ensuring that the proper information is going to the proper people. AI also helps humans be more efficient when it comes to categorizing different things they need to do for their work as well. So when we talk about all of these ways that technology has enabled humans to be more efficient and effective, you might be asking yourself, how do I adapt? There's so much going on so fast. How do I keep up with everything? And that's a great question. Here's a truth for you that's probably going to sound shocking at first, but if you just go through it with me, I promise we'll be better on the other end. You will never be caught up again. I want you to sit with that. You will never, ever, ever be caught up again. You know, once upon a time in history, you think about it, if you wanted to be techie, all you had to be able to do was use a fax machine and program your VCR. Now we're in this world where even if somehow you were able to catch up on all the technology that you should know about today, by tomorrow, much of that information will be outdated. And so not only will you never be caught up again, no one will ever be caught up again. And that should make you feel a little bit better because it's almost like being graded on a curve. I don't know about you, I was a huge nerd in school, so I was pretty much a straight A student. But occasionally there would be a test that would come through where I'd get like a low B or something, and I'd be upset until I realized no one made a grade higher than mine. So I set the curve. This is kind of similar to that in that if we understand that no humans will ever be caught up with all this technology again, it should remove the pressure of having to achieve an unattainable goal. So then, if the goal is not to catch up or to master everything, what is the goal? My suggestion is for you to adopt childlike curiosity. I want you to think back to children. If you've ever spent time with children, your own or someone else's, you know that when they're small, they know very little. And they know very little. That's why they ask why all the time, ad nauseum. Why? I don't understand. They're trying to understand the world around them. And if you present them with something new, you have never seen a child, when you present them with a new concept, say, that's stupid. I don't like it. I'm going to ignore it. How do they respond? Oh, wow. Really? Why? How? So adopting that spirit of curiosity will carry us through times of immense change. Just like these children that know very little, but their brains allow them to expand and just explore. They don't feel the pressure of having to master everything they're learning. They're just curious. They're trying to see, well, what does this mean? Well, can I use that? Or am I allowed to touch that? Look at it the same way. And if you have a hard time trying to remember what it was like to be that young, I have another activity for you. I want you to go back to your childhood and remember your favorite toy. Think about your favorite toy. Was it Lincoln Logs? Was it Light Bright? Was it Rainbow Bright? Was it Barbie? Did you have that weird pregnant Barbie with a baby that popped out of its tummy that terrified all of us? Actually, you can even go in comments now and type in what your favorite toy was as a child. I'm curious. But there's this amazing site that's called eBay. If you go on there right now, I'm pretty sure you can find that favorite toy. Go ahead and buy it. Don't worry about if your mate is confused as to why there's a big wheel sitting next to your office chair now. Go ahead and buy your toy. And anytime you feel overwhelmed by change, especially all these technological things coming in your direction, touch your toy. Root yourself in that childlike curiosity. That's what's going to carry you forward. I don't want you to have the pressure of feeling like you have to constantly be on top of everything, but I do want you to feel open to learning. What does this mean? Well, how does this work? Because just that curiosity will help you stay ahead of the curve when most people's brains shut down because they sense it as fear. And so we just want to practice this habit of being open to change. Speaking of being open to change, if you go in the description of this video right now, I have a free gift for you. It's called the Future Ready Playbook. What it is it's a playbook full of all kinds of activities that will help you prepare for the future in some pretty cool but strategic ways. Go ahead and take a moment, download it right now.